the feature of tonight's card from the Molson Center of Montreal, the Canadian Welterweight Championship, Kyvelos, young Montreal fighter with a perfect record of 14 wins in 14 fights. Kyvelos, for the first time, going to go 12 rounds. This is the biggest fight, certainly, of his career.
You know, Ron, I remember when Don Majeski said that to make a good fight that the promoter must have a situation where people don't know who's going to win, and the two fighters are well known. And we have these ingredients in this particular fight. Like tonight, if you ask 25 people, you'll have half of them will say that they think Kyvelos is going to win, the other half will say Vanderpool, they think he's going to win. So, in effect, this is an ideal matchup, and to boot, you have a title at stake in the Canadian Championship.
Kyvelos has been brought along very methodically by Russ Anber, and Russ handles his fighters in a specific manner. Yeah. Some people criticize him for it, but he never wavered.
Absolutely. No, I think that you have to have a lot of respect and admiration for Russ, because he takes absolute good care of his fighters, and he doesn't get swayed by the public opinion. He does what he thinks is right, and so far it's worked pretty well. Look at he's taken Otis to pretty high levels in the professional ring. So you have to listen to at least what he has to say. That's to me, I think that he's on the right track.
This is the man they call the Whip.
Correct.
Fitz Vanderpool, who is fighting out of Kitchener, Ontario.
There's his manager, Joe Harsnow. He used to be a boxer himself from Hungary, came to Canada after the revolution, and had about 5 or 6 professional fights, but he's got more like a father-son relationship. It's much more than just a fighter-manager relationship. He treats him like a son, and I can understand why, because after you meet this young man, you realize what a fine young gentleman he is, and what a nice person.
Well, Vanderpool is a veteran fighter. He has been the Canadian champion now for 3 years. He works with the Ontario Provincial Police and representing them. Oh, here we get Otis Grant is in the center of the ring. Otis making his way back from a very serious car accident and expects to fight again, about to enter training. We can look at the tail of the tape for the Canadian Welterweight Championship, the feature that's coming up. Really, Vanderpool is 8 years older than Kyvelos. Other than that, tail of the tape is really pretty even.
Yeah, at that age, I would say that it's probably not a disadvantage. If he was maybe 35, 36, but at 32, oftentimes a fighter is just at the height of his game. And so, from that point of view, I don't think that's either an advantage nor a disadvantage. And they seem to be pretty well matched in height and reach. And so I think that that's a type of match that you could call a dream match by a promoter. You know.
Vanderpool has the edge, certainly in experience. There's Russ Anber as he is leading his fighter, Kyvelos, into the ring. Russ Anber also is the manager and trainer of Otis Grant.
Well, there are a lot of people, Ron, that think that possibly the step between where Herc was and to fight a guy like Fitz Vanderpool at this stage might have been one step, a little bit of a jump, you know, instead of maybe going from an 8 to a 10 and then a 10 to a 12 rounder. However, I'm inclined to think that the way that Russ Anber visualizes things, he must have seen something looking over tapes or something that tells him that Vanderpool is ready to be taken by Herc. Knowing Russ, the way he operates, I would say that he's not one to take big chances.
Not at all.
He likes to play it safe.
Clearly has all the confidence in the world in his fighter, or he wouldn't have taken this step.
No doubt about that at all.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see how the crowd reacts here to Kyvelos.
And of course, Ron, you know, such a fight will set him on a different track. Like right now, he's been fighting like preliminaries and that type of thing. But now with a Canadian championship, this at least gives a little prestige. While it's not a world championship, and we must.
But everybody takes notice.
We mustn't forget also that Fitz has also got a WBF World Championship. But between you and I, and don't tell anybody about this, but it's not, doesn't have the same prestige as, let's say, WBA, WBC, WBO, or IBF. It's probably the equivalent of a championship at the AAA level type of thing. But it certainly indicates that Fitz is in the Class A type of fighter, and the category of fighter that could in fact step up to the plate with the very best in the world, even among the more recognized associations like WBC, WBA, and that type of thing.
Fitz Vanderpool certainly seems loose as he is making his way to the ring. Here in the Molson Center of Montreal, his record 18-3-3, and 11 of those 18 wins have come by the knockout route. Likes to go by the whip, and some of his entourage there wearing T-shirts.
It's strange
indicating such.
It's strange to see him come in the ring like that, because he, when you meet him as a person, he seems to be such a, retired, more of a.
Well, you got to have some showbiz, I guess.
Non-showbiz type of personality.
When you're in show business, you got to put on a bit of showbiz.
Right.
There we see the Canadian belt on display.
In fact, believe it or not, it would be difficult to tell by this comportment right now, but he seems to be a little bit of a shy guy, as I met him yesterday.
He is originally from Trinidad. I guess that's his choice of music to enter the ring.
I saw him just recently against this guy, Ray Oliveira, and they took 3 points away from him, and he ended up with a draw. And this guy, Oliveira, is the guy that fought Jake Rodriguez some years back, and they had a combined total of the greatest number of punches thrown in a fight in the history of the fight packs. There were over 1,000 punches thrown in that fight. And so Oliveira fought Fitz about, I'd say, less than a few months ago, back in January, and ended up with a draw after taking 3 points away from Vanderpool.
Okay, let's go up to ring center
and join Mr. Perry Conasani for the singing of our national anthem. Mesdames et messieurs, voici maintenant le combat principal de la soirée. Here is tonight's main event. 12 rounds of boxing for the Canadian Welterweight Championship. 12 rondes de boxe pour le championnat canadien des poids mi-moyens. Nous vous rappelons que ce combat est approuvé par la Régie des alcools, des courses et des jeux, dont le président est M. Serge Lafontaine, et sanctionné par la Fédération canadienne de boxe professionnelle, dont le président est M. Ron Hayter. représenté ici près de l'arène par M. Henry Johnson. We remind you that this bout is approved by la Régie des alcools, des courses et des jeux, its president, Mr. Serge Lafontaine, and sanctioned by the Canadian Professional Boxing Federation and its president, Mr. Ron Hayter, represented here at ringside by Mr. Henry Johnson. Voici maintenant, mesdames et messieurs, les officiels pour ce combat. Here are the officials for this bout. Nous vous rappelons que le combat est sous la surveillance médicale du Dr. Pierre Meunier. This bout is under the medical supervision of Fight Dr. Pierre Meunier. Le chronométreur, the timekeeper, Monsieur André Huard. L'officiel des chutes, the knockout timekeeper, Monsieur André Bouchard. Les juges pour ce combat, the judges for this bout, Monsieur Richard de Carufel, Monsieur Hubert Earl et Monsieur Sylvain Leblanc. L'arbitre du combat, when the bell rings, referee Michael Griffin will handle this bout. D'abord, dans le coin bleu de Montréal, first introducing in the blue corner from Montreal, portant la culotte noire et pesant 146,5 livres. He is wearing black trunks and weighed in at 146.5 pounds. Avec une fiche professionnelle parfaite de 14 victoires, 9 par KO, aucune défaite, aucune nulle. His professional record stands at a perfect 14 wins, 9 coming by way of knockout, no losses and no draws. Il est l'aspirant numéro 1 au titre canadien et classé 11e par la NABF. He is the number 1 contender for the Canadian welterweight title and the NABF's number 11 contender, Hercules Kyvelos. Dans le coin rouge de Kitchener en Ontario, in the red corner from Kitchener, Ontario, portant la culotte blanche et noire et pesant 146,1 livres. He is wearing white trunks with black trim and weighed in at 146.1 pounds. Avec une fiche professionnelle de 18 victoires, 11 par KO, 3 défaites et 3 nuls. His professional record reads 18 wins, 11 coming by way of knockout, 3 losses and 3 draws. Il est le champion canadien des mi-moyens et classé 3e par la NABF. He is the Canadian welterweight champion and ranked number 3 by the NABF. Please welcome Fitz the Whip Vanderpool.
Gentlemen, this is a 12-round championship fight. You receive your instructions in the dressing room. No questions? Remember to obey my commands at all times. Protect yourselves always. Touch gloves now.
Michael Griffin is again the referee in this fight. The main event, the feature tonight from the Molson Center in Montreal. There we get a look at the tail of the tape one more time. Guy Jutra. Fitz Vanderpool, an inch taller, weight basically the same. 8 years different in age, but as you said, at 32-24, it's not that big a deal. And Vanderpool is a couple of inches advantage in reach.
Right, which is not enough to really be that significant. Now, by the way, the referee is the brother of John Griffin that used to fight professionally here in Montreal. And Mike himself was a good amateur, very good amateur fighter. He won the Golden Gloves, and I believe he was a Canadian champion.
Vanderpool comes out to, I guess, establish his ground. This is a 12-round fight. And the first time that Hercules has been asked to go 12 rounds. This is a title, Canadian title, welterweight championship. I would think Hercules is a little nervous.
No doubt about that one, because that, of course, is this is first big chance of gaining attention and throughout Canada, as a matter of fact, and then gives him a little bit of a prestigious title to take his trade someplace else, maybe even in the United States.
When the fighters were announced, he was clearly the crowd favorite. If you happen to see the tattoo over his left shoulder, that is the 5 rings of the Olympic Games. He participated in the Atlanta Olympic Games for Canada as an amateur fighter. Vanderpool attempting here to establish something in the first round. I think Kyvelos is pleased just to establish the round and
I guess at this stage now there's the filling out process,
right.
Which is normal. We're not going to see much fireworks, I don't believe, until maybe midway in the second round or something. But they're just establishing their territory, so to speak.
Into the final minute of round 1. Kyvelos is from a large Greek community in Montreal. I'm sure he is
a very popular young man.
Very popular in that community.
About that the Greek community is going to get behind him, and not only the Greek community, I think the whole boxing community is going to get behind him. He's a young man. He's perfectly bilingual at that, and I think he's impressing an awful lot of people with his brains as much as his brawn.
Now Hercules has landed 2 punches in this round. Vanderpool attempting his flurry and combination. Down near, about 10 seconds to go in the first round. You said no fireworks to a second. They picked it up here late in this round. And all of a sudden the fans are getting the feeling that they're going to be in for a good fight.
You know what, Ron? This one is so close that I wouldn't want to do it justice to either one of them. I'm going to call it 10-10.
Sounds fair enough because it was close. Look at the whip.
That's one of those. You can't. Nobody had really a clear advantage of it, and it's unfair because there are some thinking in the pressure boxing that you shouldn't give an even round. But to me, I don't buy that because if you don't do that, it means you're just flipping a coin. And why do that? If you're not sure, then give it a 10-10. As long as you don't do that too many times throughout the 12 rounds. I mean, if you come up with six even rounds.
Here are the Quebec rules. No standing 8 count, no 3 knockdown. Stand points. Referee and doctor can stop the fight. The boxer can be saved by the bell in the last round only. And there is the bell. Round 2 underway. This is a 12-round championship fight. The Canadian welterweight belt goes to the winner.
See, some of these punches are landing on the gloves of Hurt, so he's protecting himself very well with his both hands.
Michael Griffin splitting up the fighters. They got it going pretty good late in the first round. A little more feeling out here to start the second, which is understandable. Kyvelos come in at 146.5 as far as weight is concerned. Vanderpool at 146.1. They weigh the same, basically the same height. Vanderpool with a very slight edge, a couple of inches of reach. Kyvelos really protecting himself pretty well.
Yeah, well, of course, being tutored by Russ Andrew, you can rest assured that he's not going to leave the defense to be neglected.
As a very good amateur boxer, you're right, he's been well tutored.
Oh, yeah.
He's been given the time to come along.
This guy gets all the attention from Russ that he deserves. All Russ's fighters are well tutored, you know. As the one under Stefan LaRoche's guidance as well, and Ron Michel's.
Vanderpool throwing combinations. Vanderpool again attempting to be the aggressor as he seems to be wanting to get in close to Hercules.
Well, you see, Ron, I don't think that he's really doing any damage. The thing is that he's the only one throwing. In other words, like they might be hitting the gloves, but if they're the only punches that are thrown and landing,
that's all the judges have to work with.
That's it. You have to work with what you get. And Herc just hasn't been busy enough in this particular round to win it.
No, he's been a little flat-footed, hasn't he?
Yeah. A little hesitant, but we'll see what happens. He might still be all... I think he does take, by and large, he does take his time.
Yeah.
He's not the fast starter normally.
And he has been picking up near the end of the round. We're into the final 30 seconds of round 2. Vanderpool may have landed a left.
Well, it wasn't great damage done, but just enough. I think that takes Vanderpool's round. Makes it a round for Vanderpool for sure.
Now, Kyvelos has been working the middle of the ring. Vanderpool has been working the outside. Belgo, second round is over. And I don't think anyone will argue with you, Guy, if you were to give Vanderpool the 10-9 in round 2.
Yeah. Well,
we get a look at Hercules.
The damage was not extensive. The only thing is that the few punches that were actually thrown, or at least there were some thrown, but they were mostly thrown by Fitz Vanderpool.
What is Russ Amber telling Kyvelos right now?
I would imagine that he's probably telling him to get a little busier because he's letting the punches come at him, but he's not counter-punching, and he's not also initiating the attacks. He's waiting for Vanderpool to come.
Well, we get a look at some of the action from the second round, and clearly Vanderpool took the round, took control, took charge. Here we are, round number 3. 3 of 12. Kyvelos again in the middle of the ring. Vanderpool is the aggressive very early.
See, Ron, a lot of these punches are landing on the gloves, but again, they're partially blocked, not the 100% blocked.
Kyvelos there with a couple.
He's opening up a little bit.
And again, those didn't do any damage at all either, but he did register punches.
Back.
He fired punches. Split up again by Michael Griffin.
So when a punch is blocked, oftentimes there's always a partial damage. Partial is part of the punch that goes through. And so therefore, you still have to take that into account. And that's what gave Fitz Vanderpool the last round.
And if you're on the losing end of a round like that, you know it, and you know why you lost the round.
Absolutely.
Going to get left standing with empty pockets. Kyvelos trying to work Vanderpool into the corner. But it has been a trait of this young boxer, you're right, that he remains very patient.
Yes, he doesn't get excited, doesn't get...
Actually, he's quite mechanical, as Russ Amber boxers tend to be.
I think we're going to have to maybe perhaps in the 3rd or 4th round that more of it is going to come out because he might be just still in the process of studying and establishing the strategy, but
you don't want to get
cost him at the end, you know.
That's right. You don't want to get deep enough that you have to win by knockout.
That's right.
All of a sudden now we're seeing some real action here in the final minute of the 3rd round. Vanderpool, the fans letting him know that they don't want to see him resort to punching and grabbing, and that's what he's doing. Well, that's a sign that Vanderpool feels Kyvelos coming on, doesn't he?
Well, this is another extremely close round, but I think that in terms of clean punches, I think that Kyvelos might have just done enough to win that round. Of course, there's always the last 15 or
well, we got 30 seconds
to go, and that may make a difference there.
30 seconds can change a lot of things in a boxing match. This is round 3.
The Willett Hilton fight.
Right. Nobody will ever forget that one.
We're talking about 16 seconds on that one with the Willett and the Hiltons. It changed the history of boxing in Montreal.
Now we're down to the last couple seconds. Kyvelos trying to get out a punch, and he does. He got 4 or 5 good ones. And I think that Vanderpool slipped, did he not? Is that going to be a knockdown? No. No. Just as the bell goes. But Hercules showed much more aggressiveness in that third round.
Yeah, he did enough to win that round. In fact, the clean punches were landed by Kyvelos, and it was almost like a reverse of the second round.
Yeah, we're going to look at just what happened at the end of the round.
He got him a couple of good body shots as well.
Yes. Actually, we just want to see what happened here.
Well, so far, Vanderpool got an even fight after 3 rounds.
Kyvelos taking some punishment and then responding with some of his own. Here's right at the end of the round. Over at the far corner, let's take a look at Vanderpool.
Yeah, just
to see what happened. And the foot got under the ring.
That's right.
Here we go, round 4. Vanderpool coming out swinging. Kyvelos all of a sudden looking more poised really than Vanderpool does, doesn't he?
That's right.
This is the first time that Kyvelos has been extended beyond 8 rounds. That's correct?
That's the first time that he's had to go. That's right. That's the first time that he's had to go beyond 8 rounds. And this is where it's going to really be a test once we get into the 9, 10, and the championship rounds 11 and 12. That's what separates the men from the boys.
This has been an active fight. That's what you want when.
Well, it's a seesaw type of fight because the second round was Vanderpool, the third round was Kyvelos, and now Vanderpool seems to be coming back on again. Let's see what happens.
Well, he was coming back, but those are a couple of good body punches landed by Kyvelos. We still have a lot of time to go in this round. But a minute 45. Vanderpool quite content from time to time just to get tied up. Now, what did you see on that one?
Well, I'm going to have to look. We have the advantage of the replay.
Because that's a knockdown.
That's going to count as a knockdown.
That's count as a knockdown.
That could cost me.
Kyvelos, I thought slipped, but it's counted as a knockdown. He's trying to say that he slipped. But boy, I'll tell you, that gave Vanderpool a shot of energy, thinking that he can put this fight away. Now Kyvelos has some coming back to do. Getting into the late stages of this 4th round. And all indications now that the round will go to Vanderpool. Although some good punches from Kyvelos. This has the makings of a brawl, doesn't it? Yeah. Vanderpool with a mistake, and Kyvelos almost was able to take advantage. This round is just about over, and it has been a dandy. This is one for the judges to ponder.
You know what? I'm going to give that one a draw, because I would have given that round to Kyvelos
without the knockdown. Didn't we hear the bell?
Yeah, I thought I did too.
I'm sure we... Well, they're still fighting. And this is in the corner. This is Kyvelos laying a flurry of body punches, and there goes the bell. I thought sure you heard the bell. All right. So Gisutra scores this one even. That was quite a round. Well, the fans came out here in large numbers tonight. Good crowd to watch this Canadian welterweight championship. Here, we're going to get a look at the knockdown here, Guy. You want to get a second look.
I'm going to call that a 10-9 instead of a 10-8.
Vanderpool 10-9. There you just saw the knockdown for Kyvelos. He did come back, recovered from it very nicely.
Actually, it would have gone a 10-8 normally, and because of the knockdown. But in fact, in view of the fact that Kyvelos came back and could have actually would have won otherwise, then I make that a 10-9 in favor of Vanderpool instead of a 10-8.
Okay, this is a very important round for Hercules, isn't it?
Very important.
This is round 5. This is a 12-round fight.
In a close fight like that, every single round is going to be important.
Kyvelos knows that he has to take this round. He was knocked down in round 4.
But actually, it's still early enough that he could afford to lose a round and still get back in the fight, you know.
Plenty of good action. The only problem with that, though, Guy, for a fighter that's never gone beyond 8, does he want to go into the 8th, 9th, and 10th, down a couple of rounds?
That's of course, it depends on the fact whether he's considered to have good stamina or not. Now, in 6 rounds, he's been able to manage. We've never seen any lack of stamina, but we have to go to that distance in order to find out.
That's right.
Since he's never done it, we'll know after tonight.
Under 2 minutes to go here in the 5th. Here's Hercules. He's coming on. He's got Vanderpool against the ropes. However, not landing any real solid punches as the fighters are in very close quarters, and Michael Griffin breaks them up back into the center of the ring. Vanderpool misses. More of a lunge. Left to the body, to the midsection. Now back for Kyvelos again. Still not landing punches with any real authority. They're echoing their disapproval, feeling that Vanderpool is tying up their favorite fighter, Hercules. He is clearly the fan favorite here, as he should be. Fighting in his home barn, if you will.
Well, you can't get a fight any closer than that, Ron. It's a real seesaw fight.
Well, this has been a good card again, with every fight being close.
Every fight tonight was entertaining.
40 seconds to go in this 5th round. Vanderpool, I guess, little showmanship, trying to catch Kyvelos nervous. Kyvelos is looking for a punch here, and he lands a few. But Kyvelos is fighting dangerously. Would you not say that, Dean?
Well, when he opens up like that, of course, he's vulnerable, but then you've got to take that chance. Otherwise, you're letting the other guy get away with it. You're accumulating points. So I think he's doing it right.
Coming near the end of the 5th round. There goes the bell. And it was another good one.
Yeah,
that's a great fight.
Kyvelos on that one.
You get Kyvelos around. Well, this is a very close fight.
Absolutely close.
Now we're heading into the real serious middle rounds.
We've got 20, 30.
There's some of the action from the 5th. Good flurry of punches there from Kyvelos.
I got 48 to 47 in favor of Fitz at this stage now. No, sorry about that.
Ross Amber again.
That would be 30, 48.
Telling us fighter what he wants to see in round number 6.
Yeah, I got 48-48, Ron.
Round number 6 is underway. Vanderpool with the first punch of the round. There's another left and another left. Vanderpool has registered 3 and Kyvelos not 1 as yet. Kyvelos now being certainly more active as they tie up again. I'll make one prediction. If this goes the full 12, neither fighter is going to have much left when it's over.
They're going to be tired. They're going to sleep well tonight. You're right there, Ron, for sure.
Kyvelos working again from the middle of the ring to the outside. But he's not, so far this round again, not able to land the Real solid punches on Fitz the Whip Vanderpool. He is the reigning Canadian welterweight champ. He is attempting to keep that belt. And right now he might be just marginally ahead in the fight as he rams Kyvelos into the post here at the near corner. Both fighters are all right. And again, the fans not too pleased with that.
Well, strictly lost his balance there. There was nothing to that. But,
here's Vanderpool right now, able to use that 2 inches of extra reach to his advantage. Kyvelos in the middle, still not landing punches with authority, but he is connecting. Another flurry there from Kyvelos. And the fighters in very close quarters. Down to the final minute of round number 6.
it's a very physical,
There was a
very
good one.
physical fight. So that may be able. We might see some results of this or damages done in the last 2 rounds. Because when it's physical, one of them might just run out of energy.
A lot of movement in the ring, both fighters.
But every single round, Ron, is a close round.
And every single round is tiring.
Yeah.
No, it's an exhausting
That's right.
style of
That's
fight.
why I think the 10th or the 11th and 12th rounds
Oh,
are
yes.
really going to tell.
Down to 15 seconds remaining here in the 6th. And in terms of damage done and real solid punches, so far in this round there haven't been many. There's Hercules attempting, and Vanderpool missed with a big haymaking right. There goes the bell. 6th round is over, and we're halfway through this fight.
I give that last round to Vanderpool, just a couple of punches more than Kyvelos that landed squarely. And I've got Vanderpool ahead by 1 single point right now, 57 to 50.
A very narrow margin, but nevertheless a worthy margin.
In fact, Ron, I'll tell you, I hesitated to give a 10-8 in the 4th round, and I shouldn't. I don't have the right to question the referee. I thought that it might have been a slip, but still, nevertheless, I thought that Herc came back and won enough from that round. He had enough to at least would have won that round had it not been for the knockdown, so therefore I just counted it as a 10-9. But the rule is, by the way, that when the referee makes a call, that the judges have to follow it. So we have no...
This is round 7. Now we're into the second half of the fight here, Guy. There is your scoring up to date. These are very serious rounds now for young Hercules. He's getting into uncharted waters.
Well, he's gone to 8 rounds before, but he'll get into the uncharted waters in the ninth.
And Vanderpool is no stranger at all to these late rounds. And he certainly has not lost anything in terms of weariness. He is looking very strong.
What I think we'll see down the stretch, Ron, is that the one that's in better physical condition might just end up eke out the decision towards the end, because these last 2 rounds, that's again where you separate the amateurs from the professionals.
Up against the ropes, Kyvelos still not able to land any really good punches. Vanderpool looking at the referee there. Our ring again comes Kyvelos on a cushion. And Vanderpool...
I don't think there's anything intentional there, Ron.
No, I don't believe so.
The intensity of the fight is such that they lost their balance.
And they are tying one another up continually, so... Just under a minute and a half to go in this 7th round. Kyvelos, the local favorite, really in a position now he has to play some catch-up. He's not that far behind, but he is behind.
I think he's letting Fitz take charge in that round if he doesn't break up now.
Well, maybe he realized that he's opening it up a little bit. Both fighters are throwing punches that are missing. If they are able to start connecting, they will do damage.
But in this round, I could see from my position here, I see more punches thrown by by Vanderpool. And
he's showing a little more poise. He's showing...
take that round away from him.
And now both fighters go down just with the motion.
That's okay. It just shows the intensity.
That's right. And again, Vanderpool is crying foul to Michael Griffin, but I don't see that either. We're down to 15 seconds here in this 7th round. Just about 10 seconds. Are we going to see anything happen? Well, there's no clip from either of these boxers as they get into very close quarters. And this is becoming a very intense fight, isn't it?
I give that last round to Vanderpool because Kyvelos didn't let the artillery. He's got to let the artillery go a little bit more, and he let Fitz take charge in that particular round. And I think that would cost him on the judges' cards.
Here's a replay of some of the action from round 7. It was a clutch and grab round, but there you see, just a couple of the quality punches that Fitz Vanderpool was able to apply to Hercules, and Hercules just, didn't have any punches. I don't think that really did damage, did he?
No, they're not damaging punches, but they're just enough to score points and give the round to Fitz. And I got Fitz 68 to 66, so we're 2 points difference now. We've only got 5 rounds to go, so Kyvelos can't afford to lose 2 more of those.
This is round number 8. There you see Gujutra scoring. This is the feature. This is the main event of tonight's boxing card. Next one here at the Molson Center and presented by Interbox, coming up on the 7th of March. Right now, business at hand. Kyvelos having to play some catch-up. Vanderpool is the champ, and right now he's fighting like the champ. Saying, kid, come and get me. He's fought really a pretty disciplined fight. Kyvelos.
Well, Ron, I think Kyvelos has already proved something tonight, that he belongs in the same ring. A lot of people didn't think that he did.
Yes.
But he's already proved now that he belongs in the same ring. And if he manages to pull this win, then he would...
I don't believe it. Did he step on his foot?
No, that was a slip for sure, yeah. But if Kyvelos can only show that he belongs in the same ring as Fitz Vanderpool, because Vanderpool is an established Class A fighter, Kyvelos will already have accomplished quite a bit, and he will impress me among others.
Down to the midway mark now of round number 8. Hercules, knowing he's behind, he's attempting to win this round. Vanderpool coming right back. Well, this fight has got the attention of everybody here, to be sure. Off the ropes, a couple of good punches landed there by Vanderpool. Hercules again having trouble getting quality punches landed.
Well, he was leading in the early moments of that round,
but that slipped away.
It slipped away. Unless he lets it slip right through the end, he's still got a chance to cope it.
Still plenty of time in the round, 45 seconds.
So sometimes it influences the judges when you come and steal the last seconds of the round.
Vanderpool's corner yelling, hands up, hands up. Good action here at the end of this 8th. Kyvelos attempting to get a couple of good punches landed before the bell goes. Just under 20 seconds. Vanderpool with another one. Vanderpool again with the flourish. Oh, Vanderpool was there, and Kyvelos, Vanderpool down to his knees. Got a couple of punches landed.
Ron, this round seesawed all the way through until the end. I think that Kyvelos probably might have pulled it off. On my part, it did. 10-9 for Kyvelos.
And it was a close 10-9, but a 10-9 that he needed. Well, we see some people with Greek flags.
It was an extremely close 10-9. You know, you couldn't even dispute the direction that some of these rounds have gone, and I'm sure that you're not going to get unanimous scoring either. But in the last round, just towards the end, I had given the round to Fitz Vanderpool, but just in the last dying seconds, it was so close that Kyvelos did enough just to come back and pull it right out of there.
And that's a good sign for a young boxer. Yeah. Well, this has been a good fight. Everyone thought it would be, hoped it would be. It's a Canadian welterweight championship. They're going 12. And this is round number 9. And again, Kyvelos, the hometown favorite, the young challenger. Biggest step in his career.
It's been seesawing. Yeah. Okay. That's 77-76 now for Vanderpool. Just 1 point separates these two fighters. With 4 rounds to go.
Whoa. Up against the ropes. Vanderpool is able to escape that. Kyvelos, you can see the determination in his eyes, in his face. He knows what he has to do. And now he may be even asking himself, can I do it? Listen to the cheer and the chant in the background for Kyvelos. His fans getting behind him. But
just like the last round there, Ron, he's starting off well.
He has a mountain to climb because Fitz Vanderpool is proving that he's a worthy champion. Oh boy, they're slugging it out here in the corner. Oh boy. And this time,
that reminds me
Kyvelos kind of wrestles Vanderpool down. He's not too pleased with that.
You know, actually, surprisingly enough, it's not a dirty fight. They've been throwing each other at the ring,
but it's not a dirty fight.
It's not in the dirty fight.
There's been nothing low.
There's no call either by the referee, correctly so, to take points away, because that would have been a wrong call. So far, these have been really stiff of intensity.
Kyvelos up. And Vanderpool against the ropes. Landed a couple of good ones. There's one to the midsection. Missed with that left. There's one that connects. And another one. And he gets Vanderpool back on the rope. Vanderpool with a haymaker that misses. Uppercut that just missed. We have 1 minute to go in this 9th round. This is the farthest Kyvelos has ever gone in a fight. Both fighters clearly are tired.
Strangely enough, I think that's his best round of the fight.
Oh, yes. He is getting some good punches landed. Vanderpool was a little bit vulnerable, but they tie one another up from in close with 40 seconds to go in the round. Kyvelos off the ropes, and he took a punch, walked right into one. Fighters in the middle again. Near the end, round number 9. And Kyvelos comes out with a flurry. Right back for Vanderpool. 20 seconds, counting down, round number 9. And again, Kyvelos comes back.
I think Kyvelos got him with a liver shot there. That should, but it doesn't seem to slow him down.
No, Vanderpool coming right back, trying to get the last couple of punches.
That's Kyvelos' first round of the fight, Ron.
Of the round. Bell is just about to go. Oh, this is a great round. There it goes. That's the bell. Round number 9 is over. Well, the people have come into the Molson Center tonight, and
Ron, I think
those who are watching us, everybody getting their money's worth.
I mean, what a competitive fight. After 9 rounds, I've got it a draw so far. 76 to 70, 86 to 86.
So you gave Kyvelos this round?
Yes, I did. Yeah,
yes, okay.
10-9.
And I think deservedly so.
Yeah, I think that was his best round so far, as a matter of fact. Now, the last 3 rounds, this is going to tell us an awful lot about Kyvelos and where he belongs in terms of the professional rank.
Well, didn't he show us something in the 9th?
He certainly did, because he had never gone 9 rounds.
So
that turned out to be his best round so far.
I don't know about you. I can see no indication where he's going to go downward now.
No indication at all that we're going down.
Not at all. See some of the action here from the 9th round. This has been a great fight. This is what people pay good money to come out and watch in boxing. Round number 10. And this time Vanderpool is spun around. He spent a good deal of time on the canvas. And again, he goes to Michael Griffin,
but that's not
arguing foul play, but it's not foul play. No, of course
that's right. It's one of those things that happen, and nobody caused it, and it's not intentional.
And it's a sign that both fighters are weary.
That's right.
They're tired.
Tired, and they're very anxious. There's a little anxiety there, and that's when these things happen.
Well, the 9th was a very active round. Are they going to be able to come back and repeat that here in the 10th? And at this stage, if either fighter drops his hands, he becomes very vulnerable, doesn't he?
Absolutely.
When you get the weariness setting in and both are tired, they have to be up against the ropes, and again, fair amount of tying one another up. Kyvelos protecting himself well here, as Vanderpool is being the aggressor. Kyvelos looking for an opening, not able to find it.
From here on in, a single punch in a round can make a difference in the outcome.
And in this round, Kyvelos is not landing. We're into, well, down to under a minute and a half to go. This is round 10.
Well, you know, typical of the whole fight, though, Ron, it's been seesawing from one round to another, and they've exchanged rounds one after the other. Now, if Vanderpool is taken over in this particular round.
Well, Kyvelos has time, and he has really a little coming back to do right now as they tie up again at the ropes.
Well, on my card, he still has a little leeway, but not a hell of a lot. If he loses this one, then he's got to win the other 2.
50 seconds. 45 to go in the round. Vanderpool, you're right. He is leading this one. Kyvelos looking for that opening. Vanderpool not giving. Now Vanderpool gives the shove, and Kyvelos goes back against the rope. Oh, the fans are giving him the raspberry over that. 15 seconds to go in this round.
Well, actually, they're blaming each other for fighting dirty, but in my opinion, neither of them are.
No.
I don't think the referee was wrong for not taking points. No. I think he's doing it right.
Well, you said it earlier, it's such an intense fight. And both are tired. It's understandable that you just blame the other guy. That's human nature.
That's right.
Well, it's another good round.
But now I've got Vanderpool taking the lead again from the last round that I had an even fight at that point. Now I've got 96-95 in favor of Fitz Vanderpool. That's how close it is. And so now, in order to get a win, Herc would have, on my card, would have to win the last 2 rounds.
Here we can see some of the action. That's Vanderpool being spun around. That was the type of round it was.
But there is no design out of this.
No.
I mean, these guys are going in there with intensity, and that's what happens.
And it wasn't near as good a boxing round as the 9th.
No.
That may have been our most entertaining round of this fight. Well, there are 2 more to go, Herky.
Well, as they say, 11 and 12, those are the championship rounds.
It's now a 2-round fight. Here we come. Round number 10. I'll make it number 11. Kyvelos comes out of his round. He's trying to establish something, and I think he knows he has to, doesn't he?
I think that both fighters understand that the
It's
judges,
close.
it's in the hands of the judges, and it's so close that if their corners don't explain to them that they have to win,
Yes.
then they're not doing
In
them
fact,
justice.
gamesmanship now, you tell your fighter he's behind, don't you?
Absolutely. Absolutely, because he may well be. You might be telling him the truth.
Yeah, you might be
In
telling
either
him the
case.
truth. Oh, they're slugging it out in the middle of the ring. Kyvelos landed there with the left. They tie one another up, and as they split, a couple of good punches there from Vanderpool. Kyvelos protecting himself. He's looking for an opening, not able to find it. Vanderpool with a couple more, but nothing that does damage. And Vanderpool is thrown down this time by Kyvelos.
Maybe a little eagerness there. But I'd hate to see the fight
Now, I think
resolved by one single
I
point
think
taken away
the
from either one of
referee
them.
warning both there to...
Yeah. But Ron, I'd hate to see a decision given in a fight like this in the case of a guy losing a point.
There were a couple good
That would be a real shame.
punches landed by Kyvelos.
And it's that close that it could make a difference. Whether the referee takes a point away, it could make the whole difference. So
They're both tired. Vanderpool almost took a run at Kyvelos. Kyvelos almost was able to take advantage of that, but didn't land a punch. Vanderpool up against the ropes. Kyvelos only partially connecting with that right.
so far, down the ground for Kyvelos.
Yep. And that will not be counted a knockdown for sure.
No.
It seems that Vanderpool is wanting to stay back here, is he not?
Well, in this particular round now, he's definitely not, he might have turned it around with this last punch.
Right. There's still a minute to go, 50 seconds.
Kyvelos has done enough in this round that unless Vanderpool comes on real strong, I don't think he can pull it off. It's Kyvelos' round to win if he keeps...
But he's got a lot of time. Vanderpool down again. Not happy, I guess. Now they're lunging at one another, and that's what happened. Now a good flurry of punches from Kyvelos. Vanderpool is attempting to pull Kyvelos down. 10 seconds to go.
You see, Kyvelos is oftentimes trying to free himself from the grip, and that's what happens when he swings him around.
And the bell
Very good
goes.
round for Kyvelos.
11 rounds down, 1 to go, and you're going to give Kyvelos that one.
I've got an even fight, Ron. That's just incredible. I mean, it couldn't be closer.
What did you call before the fight? And I know Yvon Michel came
I
out.
said I thought that it would be. I predicted a very close decision for Vanderpool.
Well, you're not far off.
Yeah, I think that it's going to come down to the last seconds of that round, the last round.
Well, it's been a fun fight. It's been a tremendously entertaining fight. I mean,
the reason why I said that, not because I had no faith in Kyvelos,
it's
simply because Vanderpool was so far ahead in his development stage. And I always said that if Kyvelos can only manage to put up a good fight and show that he belongs in that same ring with Vanderpool, he would have accomplished an awful lot. And he's done more than that tonight, because either way, I mean, this decision can go his way, regardless of what my score is. The official judges are what counts. And rest assured that this fight could go very well in his favor. And it's unfortunate that one knockdown that was counted as a knockdown may have been turned out to be a slip.
Here's the final round, 12th round of the Canadian Welterweight Championship. Hercules in the black trunks. Vanderpool in the white trunks, and this is a close fight. It is down to this one. And both fighters probably feeling they need a knockout. Again, Vanderpool is down. That is not a knockdown. Fans here at high pitch, as they should be. A couple of punches landed there by Hercules. All of a sudden, Vanderpool is looking tired and looking a little weary.
I saw his knees dipping a little bit on that one.
Kyvelos, again, trying to work Vanderpool. Early in a round, this situation, you start knowing the fight is yours to take. Kyvelos has got to know now he can take this fight.
Oh, absolutely. But I think, of course, Vanderpool also knows that it's in the balance, you know.
Oh, absolutely.
And, I mean, these guys are fighting their hearts out because, hey, everything depends on that last round. As far as they're concerned, it could go either way.
We're down now to a minute and a half, and it still isn't decided. Far from it. This fight will be decided in the next minute and 25 seconds. Vanderpool with a couple of rights, and again they get tangled up to the ropes, split up, and here we go again. A couple right to the jaw. Kyvelos now with his opportunity. And he's doing some damage.
That fight could be won in the last 2 seconds.
Vanderpool through the ropes. Kyvelos put him through the ropes. And again the referee is, here they go, 45 seconds. Vanderpool now attempting to get in close.
That fight could be won in the last few seconds.
Oh, it can be won in the last 30 seconds. We've got 30 to go. It's a slugfest. Oh, Vanderpool is very weary.
That's
You don't lose your feet that many times.
That was an excuse me punch, Ron. I mean, the guy was on the canvas, but the glove, the momentum was already on its way.
20 seconds. 20 seconds. 15. Up against the rope. Kyvelos attempting to land a couple more. Vanderpool, I think, would know he's in trouble now. Oh, he landed a good one there with the right uppercut. Kyvelos gets another one. There goes the bell. This fight is over. Oh, boy.
Yes.
And this Molson-centered crowd eagerly awaiting, but first of all, they're giving the fighters a standing ovation. They got a show. Now they're eagerly awaiting a decision. Not often here, Guy, in a long time, have you seen everybody stand for both fighters.
I got a win, 1 point by Kyvelos, 1 point. One single point? Yeah. I got him by 1 single point. 115 to 114. I mean, it couldn't be any closer than that. And look,
and that's narrow when you're
tempted to go.
When you're going in a championship fight and you got to beat the champ. Like, that's a narrow margin, huh?
Well, actually, theoretically, when you get in the ring, they take the belt off to indicate that there is no championship. So even if there's the narrowest of advantage to give to the challenger, you have to give it to him, you know. So at this stage now, that knockdown may make the difference, Ron. They counted that knockdown as a knockdown in round number 4, and that could be the whole difference of the fight. If it's a 1 point difference, that's what that is. You see, because if it had not been a knockdown, that would have been a 10-9 on my scorecard, but the reverse. And that would, of course, given it to Kyvelos, and I would have had it by 2 points. But this is going to be an interesting scoring.
It was just a great fight.
This is going to be a very interesting
scoring. Kyvelos going around the ring, certainly believing that he is the new Canadian welterweight champion. Fitz Vanderpool remaining very low-key at this stage. Vanderpool was very clearly a tired, weary fighter when that was over.
They were both completely out because they gave everything. They gave 110%. They had nothing left.
No.
And it's going to be such a disappointment for whoever loses that fight, because they both actually consider they won it. And there's no doubt in their minds. And in fact, it could go either way, even by a decision time.
Both were very physically and mentally prepared for their very best.
Well, that's as evenly matched as you could possibly get it. And you know what, Ron? I've already established my respect for Kyvelos, because I said before the fight that if he proves that he can belong in that same ring as Vanderpool, who is a world-class fighter, then we got ourselves a future star here in Montreal.
Because this fight will only make him better. Doesn't matter if he happens to come out on the short end now.
No problem. Whatever the decision now, I think, for me, I think he's won a lot of fans.
Well, it's full here tonight. The next time he fights, you better get in line for your tickets early.
I would think so. I would think so.
Or order pay-per-view early.
But it looks like a pretty healthy crowd here tonight. Thank God for that. The people supported him. Oh, okay.
Now we're getting quite a delay here. The judges are...
Well, I guess they're compiling it.
Yeah, they're compiling their number because this isn't easy.
They just don't want to make. They just don't want to have a mistake in the announcing.
Now you see the two fighters with the referee, Michael Griffin. Michael Griffin did an excellent job. By the way, the refereeing was very good in all the fights today. We didn't have Guy Jutra there, but it was still very good.
I'll tell you, I'm glad I wasn't there tonight.
Well, you did a great job here.
Kyvelos at my point.
Here's the decision from Christian Gauthier.
Le juge de Kyvelos remet une carte de pointage de 115-113. Judge de Kyvelos scores his bout 115-113. Le juge Earl 114-113. Judge Earl scores his bout 114-113. Et le juge Leblanc 114-112. Judge Leblanc scores his bout 114-112. Le gagnant par décision unanime des juges. The winner by unanimous decision. And new Canadian welterweight champion, Hercules!
Well, Kyvelos is the new Canadian welterweight boxing champion, and you can see the look in the face of Fitz Vanderpool. He is dejected. It seemed that he was expecting to get the call when he heard the judge's scores. I don't know how he could, but he was.
Well, Ron, it came out pretty close, and I think we all agreed. All the judges agreed. And we're just in line with what we had here at the table. So I don't think there's going to be any complaints on that decision. I don't think it was a hometowner. I think it was a fair decision. It was one of the closest of decisions that I can remember.
And it seemed like the judges really took that into consideration. They didn't want a hometown decision for a fight of this magnitude.
And I'm convinced beyond a shadow of a doubt, and I know the commissioner here is very strict on that. And if they give a hometown decision, usually these same guys are not invited back. And hey, the fans don't want a hometown decision. If I'm going to pay money to come and see a fight, I want a fair decision. I don't want my guy to be awarded a decision that he doesn't deserve. And that's insulting to people's intelligence if you do anything other than.
From Fitz Vanderpool's perspective, it's easy to understand that tonight he feels that maybe he was ripped a little bit.
No doubt about that.
That's just human nature again. He poured his heart out.
That's unavoidable. And if he did, I'd kind of be disappointed in his manager if he didn't think that Fitz won that fight. Because, hey, I mean, his heart and his sentiments and everything is riding on that boy, and it's like his son. So obviously, his sentiments is going to be that his boy won that fight.
Now, will he get a rematch, or will Kyvelos go on to something bigger and better?
At the level, yeah, I'm sure there's going to be a rematch down the road.
There pretty much has to be. Given the way this fight went.
But the way that the rules go is usually they don't go right into a return match.
Right.
The reason for that, Ron, is simply so that they don't want to encourage, well, you win that one and I'll let you win the other one and so forth. You know, they could split them up. So knowing that there's no return match right away, they're going to have to try to do their best to win it. Otherwise, they're going to forfeit the title. So that's the way they do it in the world title fights, and I'm sure that's the way they do it at the Canadian Professional Boxing Federation. But they will meet again. I mean, this is a natural, the most natural fight.
And also, from a monetary perspective, from Fitz Vanderpool, it has the making of a fairly good payday for him to have a rematch here in Montreal. I mean, we can see that Kyvelos has captivated this audience, taken them, and this place is going to be a hot ticket next time.
Well, right now, Herc is going to get some recognition at the higher level than he was before. Before, we looked at him as a prospect. Now we look at him as a guy that's already arrived. And that's a big, big difference. Now, I think that the networks in the United States will probably want to showboat him in the showcase him, let's say, in the undercards of some of the major bouts. Like when De La Hoya fights, for example, he'd be a natural to fight under one of the undercards. Or he could come here and then still fill our arenas here. And I think that this guy is, it's just opening up now opportunities for him. After tonight, we're going to see that's the start, like the launching of his professional career.
Montreal has gone through eras as a fight town where it's been hot, it's been cold, it's been hot, it's been cold. We are going through a new high era where we have exciting young fighters. We have to go to center of the ring. Charles-Andre Marchand has the new Canadian welterweight champion.
Fantastic, and I told my fiance I would do it for her for Valentine's. I didn't get a chance to celebrate much with her because I was in training camp and everything. I did it tonight. I'm very happy, very proud. He was a hell of an opponent, toughest yet, but I proved to be the better man.
One thing is for sure, Vanderpool has got a very awkward style, to say the least. A few times it looked like a wrestling match out there, and it looked like you were taking the upper hand.
Yeah, I certainly was, and I expected it because he's the kind of guy who I saw in this videotape. He doesn't have much legs, and they seem to mix me up in there, and I expected it. But I didn't let him push me around. I wanted to show him who's boss in there. He wanted to make it a wrestling match. I'd be the winner in wrestling. He wanted to make it a boxing match. I proved to be the better man in the boxing match as well.
When did you feel that you actually had a shot at this in the ring? I'm not talking before the fight. In the ring. When did it come to you that this is it? I'm going to win this thing?
Round number 1. Even when I hit the deck, I got up and I said, I'm still going to take this fight. I'm not letting down. God's with me. I said, the people here are with me, supporting. I did it for the city over here, brought the belt here. And I'm showing everybody that I'm the man in the ring, and I'm going to keep on going and moving along fine.
Hercules, Kyvelos, thank you very much. Congratulations. Back to you, gentlemen.
Kyvelos, and he's a pretty happy young man. I just want to go back to this era of boxing in Montreal. We have Kyvelos. We have Fatih Mazawi, who's coming on. Eric Luca is a fine, fine boxer. This may be a new era, one of the best ever for boxing in this city.
Well, at this stage now, the fighters at Interbox have taken a bit of a, shall we say, losses, in the last couple of months.
I didn't mention Otis Grant, and I didn't mention...
However, I will say this now. I have to compliment the promoter that's going to take chances. Like, people just don't want to see wins. They want to see fights, and that's what Interbox is giving. In other words, hey, we're going to take a chance on not getting our guy beaten, if that's the way it will. But he's going to come back, and we're going to go back to the drawing board, and we're going to go back, and we're going to win these titles. And look, I'd rather be criticized for doing it that way than always trying to give winning records, because winning records, there's nothing more boring. When they say people like to see a knockout, I don't agree with that. When people say they want to see a knockout that's well deserved. In other words, like if you are going to fight for the knockout, but they don't want to see some tomato can come here and get knocked out just to elevate a record. And that's what Interbox has been doing. They took chances. I mean, look, the two Hilton fights, they know the guy's a devastating puncher. And when they put Dale Brown in against these guys, they're taking chances. But that's what boxing is all about. That's what makes it exciting.
Great card tonight. Guy Jutro, it's been fun working with you. Great champion, Kyvelos. Good night from Montreal. Thanks for joining us. Center. Tonight's Video Wave Boxing Gala on Viewer's Choice is brought to you by La Casino de Montreal and Video Wave.